So now there comes the third version of internet, which is called Internet of Things, which our Dr. Isa was mentioning, which is called Internet of Things. So now what we are doing is Internet of human beings, right? We are communicating over internet. So now the future is where machines will be talking to each other over internet. So when Web Series 2 and Web 3 came, there are few differences in these two things. When somebody had a project in Web 2, so they had a business plan, they had a pitch of this project, and there were institutions who was VCs who are funding those projects, and they raised the fund in dollars, euros, and all, came into the picture, and they made their project live. But when Web 3.0 series came, so instead of business plan, they had a white paper. So many of you who entered into the cryptocurrency or blockchain industry very newly, you might have heard about the term called white paper, right? So white paper is nothing, just the business plan of the project, and this is how they are publishing them. And instead of institutions, everybody has got the opportunity to participate in that project. And instead of VC funding, it is called an ICO, where it's initial coin offering, and nowadays IEOs and a lot of things. So it will be the coin or a token of that particular project which will be sold over that project. So now, as we were seeing that, like Facebook, Google, Amazon, these companies are ruling across the world. But let me tell you one more thing, dear friends. The world, these tech giants are also going to be vanished from the world, because the world is moving from app to dApps. So now most of us are using apps in our phone, because if somebody tell us about any particular concept, we ask them, like, do you have an app for it, right? Now, but very near future itself, we will be talking about dApp only. As you see, these major apps which is available in the market. So these all companies, existent, equivalent dApps are already live in the market. This is not something which is going to come in the future, but this has already started it. It is only this thing that we are not aware about it, or the number of people who are using it is really less. But the world has already started changing from app to dApp. So it's not just few companies, there are thousands of people who are working in the blockchain space in different segments. So now why blockchain is so powerful, and why we are talking so much about blockchain? Because internet solved major three challenges, like the challenge for the information, challenge for the communication, challenge for the logistics, right? But there were two major challenges which internet couldn't solve. Do you know what is it? There are two major challenges which internet was not able to solve. First one is the trust factor. How many of you trust a profile or a news which is you randomly see over internet? Do we trust it blindly? No, right? Because there are a lot of fake things over internet, a lot of scams over internet. So the trust factor is something which internet couldn't bring into our society. And the second thing was disintermediation. If you see now, internet is something which is common for all of us, but it has brought some big intermediate companies like Facebook in between us, Google in between us, Amazon in between us, WhatsApp in between us, YouTube in between us. So this has created a lot of intermediate companies in between the end users like us. Now these two major problems will be addressed by blockchain, and blockchain is going to bring the solution for it. And because it is an immutable solution, it works on a trustless base, security, decentralized, like these are a few technical things which most of you guys might be knowing, but I don't want to complicate it for the newbies who are listening it for the first time. So when we talk about the blockchain revolution, why is it called Internet 2.0, and what is the things which it is going to do? The way we were talking about internet, through internet, we are now, what we are majorly doing through internet on a day-to-day basis? We communicate with each other, right? We share our information to all across the world through internet, right or wrong? We can share PPTs, PDFs, emails, docs, or photos, or anything over internet to any part of the world, irrespective of that person is near to us or not. But there was something which was not able to be done through internet, that is called the internet of value. If, for example, let me ask you a very simple question. If I have a PPT file, this particular presentation in my laptop, and if I send this PPT file as an email to one of my friends sitting in US, will this file move from here, or just a copy of this goes there? Hello? Just a copy of this goes there. Right? The actual file is still here only. And I can send 1,000 copies of this to anybody in the world, right? Because it is just information. But just imagine if I have 1,000 dirhams here in my wallet here, and I can send 100 copies of these 1,000 dirhams to anybody in the world. Is it a good idea? No, right? When we talk about something of value, so it has to be actually moved. It should not be copy-paste. It should be cut-paste. So this is not actually possible through internet, because when we talk something about internet of value, so there was few things which internet couldn't solve. So when we talk about internet for value, people primarily think that we are talking about just money. It is not just money. It is anything that has some value. Maybe it is your identity. It is maybe your your contracts or intellectual property, money, anything can be there. So when we talk about that, so if we move from one person to other, it actually has to be moved from this place to this. So blockchain is going to bring that particular solution for the whole world. So when we talk about the term blockchain, so a lot of people ask from where this blockchain came, who invented this blockchain and all. So it's a very funny story. It has been brought into the picture by a random person called Satoshi Nakamoto. Somebody says it's a person, somebody says it's a company, but nevertheless, we care about that particular technology. So Bitcoin was the first application for blockchain technology in the market, and now there are a lot of different blockchains apart from Bitcoin, like Ethereum, Hyperledger, and many other. So one thing I would like to clarify to the people who is hearing it for the first time. So a lot of people, when I talk to them that we are going to conduct an event on blockchain technology and all, so they ask, is it Bitcoin? Have you heard about this particular question? How many of you have faced this question when you talk to somebody about blockchain and they ask this question that is it about Bitcoin? Right? This is a common question which comes in the market, right? People always think, like most of the new people think that blockchain means Bitcoin, right? I will give you a very small example and make you understand the difference between this. For a new person who doesn't know internet, and if you ask him to search about University of Dubai over internet, what he will do? He will go to Google and search it, right? Does that mean that Google is internet? Google is one of the search engine built over internet, right? And it is probably one of the most famous search engine. So people, when talk about internet, they just go to Google and search it. But it doesn't mean that Google is internet. Of course, internet is a technology behind Google, but internet can be used for so many other things, right? Similar way, of course, blockchain is a technology behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but that is one of the very limited application of blockchain technology. It can be used in many other segments all across the world.